Hello everybody, my dear English-speaking followers, astrology lovers, friends and clients. Here is Olga Vasilchuk, and I would like to present you a new video today about the total lunar eclipse that will occur on the 27th of July 2018, and I will also talk about other transit aspects that will be formed during the 2 weeks between the lunar eclipse on the 27th of July and the solar eclipse on the 11th of August 2018. My friends, I already spoke more than once about the eclipses, and you can find so much information on the internet thanks to other astrologers who share this unique information on their channels with you. I would like to repeat myself a little bit in this video, and I will also would like to add new elements, new information that will make you think about the significance, the essence, the importance of the season of eclipses that occur twice per year. So, as I already said once, the period of eclipses is the time of farewells, and at the same time is the moment of the return to the sources. It is one of the most important strategic moments of our life if we listen to astrology advices and if we use these advices, astrological advice. The eclipses are the moments of strength when we can create a new scenario for our life for at least 1 month, because the solar eclipse, for example, it's a new moon, so we talk about the minimal microcycle, which is 1 lunar month, microcycle of planets that we consider in astrology. We can create a new scenario for 6 months until the next season of eclipses, and also the new scenario for 18 years and a half, because the cycle of the lunar nodes is 18 years and a half, and the lunar nodes return to the same degree of the same signs of the zodiac once in 18 years and a half. So the eclipses are projected to the same houses of your chart every 18 years and a half, bringing major, significant, fateful events in these spheres of life, of your life. And in fact, the impact of the eclipse begins to be felt 1 month or 2 weeks before the first of the 2 or of the 3 eclipses, if there are 3. Sometimes it happens that we have 3 eclipses, not only 2, and we feel the impact of the eclipse 2 weeks or 1 month after the exact days of the eclipse, of the last eclipse, and it's exactly in this interval that fateful changes begin to occur in our lives. But we arrive at the culminating point of the development of the events corresponding to the themes of the eclipse 3 months after the eclipse, by the middle point between the 2 pairs of eclipses that occur every 6 months. So the new scenarios are created during the day of the eclipse, but we receive the evolution, the development of the scenario not immediately, 2-3 months after the exact day of the eclipse. Okay, so the summer of 2018 is offering us 3 eclipses. We had already one of the 3, the solar eclipse in Cancer on July 12th. And its particularity was associated with the transition of the lunar nodes from the signs of Leo, Aquarius to the signs of Cancer, Capricorn on November 16 of this year, 2018. That means that by the end of 2018, after the quest for self-realization, after the search for new levels of freedom, of love and creativity, we will arrive at the inevitability of building a new order of things by focusing on what is the basis of our reality and on what can become the foundation of new projects of life. This is the symbolism of the sign of Cancer, and the solar eclipse in Cancer before the two eclipses in Leo and Aquarius of July and August allowed us to prepare the old foundations for new constructions. But before that, we must verify the solidity of these foundations and if they are ready for renewal. I spoke in details about the eclipse in Cancer in the previous video. You can find this video in the playlist, of course, and watch it, listen to it. If you haven't seen it yet, you can start watching the video from this minute, like 606. The most important, the most interesting information starts at this moment. I would like to remind you the chronology of the ingressions. These are the days when we had the eclipses on the axis Leo Aquarius. The lunar eclipse on February 10th, 2017, the opposition Sun-Moon, so on the axis Leo Aquarius. The lunar eclipse on the axis Leo Aquarius on August 7th, 2017. The solar eclipse, new moon, the conjunction Sun-Moon in Leo on the 21st of August, the last year, you remember. Then the lunar eclipse on the 31st of January 2018 on the axis Leo Aquarius, and the solar eclipse in Aquarius on February 15th, 2018. So the eclipses of summer 2018 will be the last ones on the axis Leo Aquarius, even though there will be another one on the axis Leo Aquarius on the 20th of January 2019. The sun will be in Aquarius, the moon in Leo, in the very first degree of Leo on the border with the Cancer, the very first degree of Leo and Aquarius on the border with the Cancer and Capricorn, but the nodes will be ready in the Cancer Capricorn. And in 2020, the axis will move to Gemini Sagittarius. So the axis of the node stays on one axis of two opposite signs for 1 year and a half approximately, so making the total zodiac in 18 years and a half, 12 signs in 18 years and a half. And before to talk about the solar eclipse on the axis Leo Aquarius on July 27th, I would like to invite you to reflect on the symbolism of the sign of Leo and of the sign of Cancer preceding it. If we wanted to speak of the sign of the signs of the zodiac as about symbolic steps of the development of the process of life, as about levels and stages in the mastery of reality, and not as about astropsychological characteristics of people born under this or that sign of the zodiac, then the transition from the stage of the sign of Cancer to the stage of the sign of Leo would be the transition from life as the process of survival and of satisfaction of our minimal needs to life as the process of creativity, of creation, to a life full of drive, risk, and enjoyment. These are the key words that describe the signs of Cancer and Leo, right? Cancer, that precedes Leo, symbolizes the need to find our small place in the big world, to find the conditions that we need in which we will feel protected, safe, having the minimum to satisfy our biological needs. And at this point, what is important to us is to know ourselves as well as our deep inner motivations. On the next step, on the sign of Leo, what comes to the fore is the need to have resources above the minimum required, the desire to do what pleases us, to reveal the desire to reveal our potential to create. We no longer seek safety and protection, but we seek recognition, appreciation, and validation of our importance by others. And in order to arrive to all this, we aspire to the demonstration of ourselves to people around us and to the entire world. In this phase, what is essential for us is to be able to manifest our individuality, our capacities, talents, potential, and to project all these to the outside world. And here I want to draw your attention to one thing. Here I talk about, I speak about Cancer and Leo in the order that corresponds to the movement of the signs of the zodiac, from Aries to Pisces. But the lunar nodes move in the opposite direction, right? That's why the following eclipse, the eclipses on the winter 2019 will occur on the axis Cancer Capricorn, because the axis of the nodes changes from Leo Aquarius to Cancer Capricorn, and not Pisces Virgo. And in the video on the solar eclipse in Cancer, I explained why the lunar node changes the axis, why they change signs, they move in the opposite direction than the zodiacal signs move. Okay, so check the video on the solar eclipse in Cancer. So the lunar eclipse on the 27th of July, 4:20 p.m. New York time, the Sun and the ascendant or north node Rahu in Leo, in the 4th degree of Leo, the Moon and the descendant or south node in the 4th degree of Aquarius. A position, Sun, Moon, a position of two nodes. Wow, what a powerful moment. Under the influence of this eclipse on the axis Leo Aquarius, we will have to face such events and processes, the essence of which will concern the restoration of balance in everything related to the values of the polar signs of the zodiac, of this axis. The essence of all important events, changes, and lifestyle choices in July and also August will be related to the correlation of the following polarities. Power and freedom, Leo Aquarius. Power and freedom. Love and ability to give to others the right to be the way they are, to be different. The realization of one's own unique potential and dependence on the opinion, or rather independence on the opinion of others. Self-expression and the ability to cooperate. The need of control and of maintenance of the status quo on one hand, and the ability to change the perception of everything new, unusual, the renouncement to frames, boxes, and models on the other hand. The need for love, approval, and recognition, and the ability to give all that to others. The ability to build and control our own life and to bring it to a very high level. I'm talking about quality of life and sensitivity to the influence of uncontrollable external circumstances at the same time. The need for better standards of living and the ability to obtain the corresponding income from the profession that we exert, the income from our vacation. I talk about the professional activity. On the external level, the effect of the eclipse will be manifested through important events and changes in everything related to the issues of cooperation and association with groups and collectives, of self-expression, social activities, of the revelation of our accomplishments to the entourage, the people that surround us, of the questions of the relations with relatives, particularly children, in everything related to the questions of income coming from our real estate properties, properties, questions of career and social status. And it's not excluded that under the influence of the eclipse, we will experience changes in our hobbies, our relationships, and ties with other people that will change the direction of our activities, will be reconsidered and redefined. As during any opposition, like any full moon, and especially during the lunar eclipse, we have two scenarios, more constructive and less constructive. And the choice belongs to us, which one we will choose. So on one hand, the first possibility, the impact of the eclipses can give us a powerful impulse to the development and to the transition to higher levels in the areas that I have described, I have listed. On the other hand, the effect of the eclipses will be manifested in the fact that any distortion and violation of the balance in the polar realities of Leo Aquarius axis mentioned before can cause difficult changes that will require from us the restoration actually of the lost balance. So if you want to change our life, it's the best time to do it during the season of eclipse between the two, the lunar and the solar eclipse, which is the corridor, okay? Because this time brings a powerful impulse that can lead to unexpected changes. Under the influence of the both eclipses, we could experience events that will take us out of the comfort zone, which would force us to look at the circumstances in a fresh look, another look, from another side, differently. We will start doing something new or in another way, or we will end up with something old, or the both. We close one door, we open a new door. And the signs that will feel more than other signs the influence of the eclipse are the fixed signs, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. If you have planets, especially personal planets, the Sun, the Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, in the 4th degree of Aquarius, Leo, Taurus, and Scorpio, or if you have the angular houses, ascendant, descendant, midheaven, the 4th house, in the 4th degree of these signs, you will feel the impact of the eclipse stronger than others. But the new scenarios will, in the spheres of life corresponding to the houses that receive the projection of the eclipse, will be created, these scenarios. But if your personal planets are not touched by the point of the eclipse, you will not feel anything particular, physically. If your sun or the moon, especially the moon and the sun, are touched by the point of the eclipse, you may feel not well physically. This is for sure, which is my case. The sun, Venus in Aquarius, ascendant Aquarius, rising Aquarius, descendant in Leo, moon, Mars in Leo. Imagine. So the eclipses of the moon show the results. They show results, they have to draw conclusions. This is the time to get rid of the relationship that we are not longer working, to give up to bad habits, or to something that annoys us, that hinders us. The time to free ourselves from the past. Maybe you will encounter signs on the road, but in any case we have to pay attention to what people enter our lives, what people leave our lives at the during the period of the season of eclipses. In the spiritual sense, the lunar eclipse suggests us to make a look at ourselves from a side and to determine what needs to be improved in our personalities, in our characters. The sun in Leo gives a creative impulse, and the moon in Aquarius calls to correlate our desires and intentions with the global image of reality in order to implement our plans for the benefit of ourselves and of the society. And if people ask sometimes about the rituals during the lunar eclipse, this eclipse opens the portal between the old and the new. Old patterns and habits that no longer serve us will be swept away, leaving space for the new cycle. And of course, why not to help this process with the magic rituals? It's a good time for magic. All our actions are intensified, and the lunar eclipse, which is the full moon, is a particularly powerful full moon. Yes, as I said, so we can perform rituals to attract love, money, or rituals that activate the fulfillment of our wishes. Clairvoyance, psychic readings, astrological tarot readings give precise, accurate results because the veil between the worlds become very thin. What is the particularity of this lunar eclipse of the 27th of July? This is, first of all, the total lunar eclipse, the most powerful and unusual eclipse of many years. It will last for more than 1 hour and a half. It's the longest eclipse of the 21st century. The moon will be close to the black moon Lilith, and it will be in conjunction with the retrograde Mars in Aquarius. So its impact will be more fatal than of other lunar eclipses. So let's talk about this opposition Sun-Mars, because the moon is in conjunction with Mars retrograde in Aquarius, and these planets are in opposition to the Sun, of course. So this opposition Sun-Mars gives to the lunar eclipse a powerful and transforming energetical potential, since this opposition is the culmination of the phase of the Sun-Mars cycle. The beginning of the cycle is the conjunction Sun-Mars that occurred on the 26th of July 2017. The next one will be on the 2nd of September 2019. So now we are in the middle of the cycle Sun-Mars, and it symbolizes the activity, the energy that we put into achievement of external goals. And the Mars is very close to the Earth since it's retrograde. That's why, and this occurs once in 15-17 years, the position of Sun-Mars when Mars is very close to the Earth. Any other ordinary opposition Sun-Mars occurs once in 26 months. So this is very special as a position, rare, unique. So opposition Sun-Mars will allow us to take stock of how we actually we have embodied the principles of freedom, progress, development, how we overcame the barriers and limitations of the past. And this stage, past strategies and trends will culminate in the inevitable destruction of the old order. In our personal, if our personal revolution is thoughtful, conscious, and controlled, it will bring constructive change, and it will give us access to another level of reality, to a new level of freedom in financial affairs and in relationships. If we resisted the energy of the lunar eclipse and of this transit, the opposition Sun-Mars, then the changes will occur spontaneously in spite of our will, under the influence of external factors. This large-scale destabilization, crisis situation, struggle, rivalry, conflicts will result from the contradictions that tear us apart and that we refuse to resolve, if we refuse to resolve these contradictions, because they will tear us apart. For women, men and relationships with them can be the area of significant change, or can be the cause of the change, of changes, yes. So, as I said, that the moon will be close to Lilith, the black moon. That means that our emotions can be exaggerated, and this factor underlines the inevitability of events, fatality of the changes that will come. It will occur 2 or 3 months after the eclipse, because the moon is close to Lilith. Another important aspect that is formed during the eclipse, the point of the lunar eclipse is in square to Uranus and Taurus. So the Sun is in square to Uranus, and the Moon with the Mars in conjunction are in square to Uranus, and Sun and Moon are in opposition. So the T square, opposition and 2 squares. This will affect the cardinal reorganization of our relationships our relations with the material values. It will affect situation, the order of thing in all that we considered so far as stable, and what has been perceived in everything that has been perceived as our unconditional property. At the moment of the lunar eclipse, you remember Mercury gets retrograde, starts its retrograde movement on July 26th. You can watch my video about the Mercury retrograde. You will find it in the playlist. I will not repeat myself here. So imagine the cocktail, opposition Sun-Moon, which is the full moon, the same time total lunar eclipse, opposition Sun-Mars, square Uranus, the point of the eclipse, Mercury retrograde. All this promises a lot of tension, contradictive energies, confrontations, and of course this may have an impact on our emotional, physical state. The extremely strong, powerful impact of the solar eclipse and of the opposition Sun-Mars can be seen in the malfunctioning of the cardiovascular system, if you have health issues in these areas, of the cerebral vessels, of the nervous system, and of vision. There is an increased risk of blood pressure problems, strokes, spasms, injuries, especially of legs, tendons, and ankles. Nervous and emotional tensions will increase critically. It will be difficult for us to control our reactions, our emotions, to properly assess opportunities and risks. The probability of reckless actions and decisions, destroying conflicts, is very, very high. There is a danger of accidents, equipment problems, problems with electricity, fire, of natural disasters. So just control yourself. Don't provoke conflicts and confrontations and crises, and avoid provocation and from other people and violent confrontation, because opposition Sun-Mars is the aspect of violence. In addition, the consequences of any energetical message, and here I talk about magic, will be maximum, both in the direction of transformation and destruction. So be careful of, if you practice magic, what do you do during these days, 27th plus minus 2 days, because it will be almost impossible to change the consequence of your magic intervention. And so all these described, this cocktail of tense aspects, the time of the lunar eclipse, requires from us control, caution, and maximum awareness of what we think, what we do, what we say. One day after the eclipse, Venus will be in trine with the Pluto on the 28th of July. Finally good news, right? Harmonious aspect. Trine Venus Pluto will improve women's, especially sexuality, will awake attraction and magnetism, women's attraction and magnetism. In all types of activities, the aspect offers us the opportunity to implement efficiently our global projects. And at this moment, during this aspect, people are not ready to be content with the superficial relationships. It's a good time to strengthen love relationships if we are ready to immerse ourselves in a relationship without looking back, which will help to achieve reconciliation and trust. And also people from the past, all the romantic partners can reappear, and the links, ties with them can resume. Now the real calm and peace, and we'll get closer to this by the end of the lunar month, by the 7th of August, when we will have the very harmonious aspect trine Venus-Mars, and we will get closer to the solar eclipse in Leo on August 11th. But before that, during the first week after the lunar eclipse, we have two tense aspects. We have two squares. On the 1st of August, Mars retrograde in square to Uranus. It repeats the square Mars-Uranus of May 16th of this year. So the square Mars-Uranus is described with the following keywords: merciless attitude, effrontery, hyper impulsiveness, thirst for tension, need of agitation in affairs, extremism, ability to destroy, tendency to break relationships. So this aspect will bring to the surface a situation, the situation that was formed on May 16th, but this time it will present the possibility of a new way of solving this problem or the situation. And on the 6th of August, the square Sun-Jupiter, it's another tense aspect. We may have an exaggerated opinion of ourselves, a desire to accomplish a lot without discipline and without reflection. Adventurousness, obstinacy, excessive independence, and negligence will manifest in the behavior of many of us, and all these may lead to frustration when trying to expand the sphere of influence. The egoism clearly expressed will be our defensive reaction. So you see how much tension in the air, even the first week after the lunar eclipse, and by the 7th of August, during the Trine Venus Mars, which repeats, because Mars is retrograde, which repeats the Trine Venus Mars of the 11th of April, will allow us to see that yes, this does exist, the mixture, the combination of the spiritual and the sexual, perfect alliance of the spiritual and the sexual. We will give ourselves to love, to any love relationship entirely. Our feelings will be open and sincere in their expression. Our desire will be natural, direct. Sexual behavior will be devoid of excessive vanity. Relationships with the opposite sex will be harmonious and not loaded with complexities. So this is the moment when we are calm, when we are in peace, and we are ready to meet the new moon and the solar eclipse in Leo on August 11th. So good luck to all of you. It's not the end of the world, just a strategic moment to go through the most important week of the entire year. And as for the courses that I mentioned in the last video, everything is almost ready. As soon as the first video is uploaded, I will share with all of you the link to the first lesson. Stay tuned. Send me a personal message if you are interested in the course, and I will always I respond to you as I get back to you as soon as I can when I have the physical possibility. Thank you for your attention. Good luck to all of you. Happy full moon, happy lunar eclipse, and talk to you very soon in 2 weeks in the video about the solar eclipse in Leo. Bye bye.